At the end of this video, I will put in on-screen information on how I did this week, how many tournaments I played, how many times I finished in the money, and how many final tables, and the total profit or loss for this week on my main site and on my secondary site. Thank you. Hello everyone. I just attempted to make a video about a poker tournament I played this week, but midway through it I realized how boring the video was going to be and I decided to abandon the project. But because I did make up my mind that I will make a poker video every Tuesday and make an update on my bankroll and how things are going, here's another one. I figured this time I will make a video about a poker hand, the last hand of the World Series of Poker 2019 main event. I'll play the video and commentate on it. Now remember, there's a lot of talk these days about GTO and the correct way to play a hand, stuff like that. I believe it applies to how to play a hand basically in a vacuum. What's the best mathematical way to play the hand? Doesn't mean there's only one way to play the hand. It just means what is the best ways to play the hand, including betting amount and things like that. So to rule out how someone may be feeling or what the history between two players is just foolishness in poker. People have emotions and they're gonna be involved, how tired they are, how they are feeling, how they feel about the other person, and so on. So there's a lot of history here between these two players that I do not have access to, so that I cannot commentate on that. I did watch the World Series of Poker 2019. I usually watch as many episodes as I can find on the internet every year. It's just a lot of fun to watch. The commentating is fun. The event is fun. So this hand, this was the last hand. The player involved in the hand, Dario, he's an Italian player who was involved in a controversy in the main event on the final table, I believe. And I mean, I believe that it was on the final table, where there was some kind of calling. I forgot the exact situation, but basically the manager of the tournament kind of gave him a hard time. But he was in the right, which made a lot of people have empathy for him, and a lot of people started rooting for him from that point on. At that point, there was like maybe 9 players or something left. He ended up making it to heads up, but did he win the tournament or did he not? Let's see what happened in this last hand. Obviously, you're gonna find out that he did not win the tournament because this is the last hand and he has less chips than his opponent. So he did not win the tournament. He came second. So Dario has 170,000 and the other players has 345 million, sorry, 170 million. And the button, Insan raises with kings to 11 million, and Dario calls with 8-4 of spades. The blinds are 2 million, 4 million, and the button raises just under 3 times the big blind.
2 spades for Dario out there with his 8-4 of spades in the hole.
Dario checks his flush draw.
Lucky turn card away from getting a bunch of those chips back.
And the king's Insan bets 15 million.
A lot of good cards for
I don't know how much the ante here is. It's not saying. Oh, okay. It says 4 million. So 22 million plus 4. So there was 26 million in the pot. And now he bets 15 million. So now the pot is 41 million chips after the bet.
turn besides just a spade. Ones that let him continue. Any straight card.
Now, it seems, unless they edited it, it seems like Dario called pretty quickly here, and there's no reason why you shouldn't call. He figures that a lot of the time his pairs are gonna be good too. So if he hits a 4 or an 8, he's gonna be good. So if Insan is making this hand with a display with a hand like Queen Jack, Ace King, Ace Queen, King Jack, hands like that, he will still be good if he hits his pair. And when he has a flush draw, chances are he's the only player who has a flush draw. In other words, the other player does not have a flush draw playing heads up. Here's another thing too. Some people who play tournaments, it's not often you are going to make it to the final 2 players. Maybe one every, who knows, 100 tournaments you're going to make it to heads up. So sometimes these players are not experienced heads up player. And heads up player in a tournament situation is different than heads up player in a cash situation. So even they may have played heads up before, but chances are, they have quite a bit of an experience. But I'm saying if you don't have access to that information, it is possible that they don't have that much experience. Anytime you change a little factor in poker, it changes the dynamics of what's going on. Me, myself, I'm a really, really good tournament player, but if you put me in a heads-up cash game, although I have a lot of psychological and behavioral intelligence, there are a lot of spots where a heads-up player might bet, and I might check back just because I don't know that it would be a good bet. So he calls. It seems like he called pretty quickly, and he keeps glancing at his opponent, which is interesting. And now there's a 9. So now he turned the gut shot. 7 will give him a straight, and a spade will give him a flush. And he checks. Now he lost about, he has about 140,000. 140 million chips. Now they are trying to see if they can get any clues if the other opponent has, this guy. Heads up, King Z are very, very, very strong. If you are facing 3 or 4 opponents on this board, you're not gonna like it very much.
33 million.
Here he bets 33 million. Now the pot is nearly 90 million. Now remember, Insan can take him out, and basically the chip lead will change hands. He has about 2-1 chip lead on him, and he's looking at him. He's staring at him to see if he's gonna make a move. He's trying to get a read off of him. Now, chances are, no matter what he feels or whatever he's gonna call, but he is staring at him, and this guy figures he can also represent a straight because he has an 8. So why not have 7-8, right? And he thinks there is a very good chance that his opponent will just fold if he doesn't have anything, and he will fold if he has Ace King, even King Queen, King Jack, unless he has the only hand we'll call here is not the only hand, but Queen Jack of Spades will call. Maybe Ace 10 will call. Jacks will call. Queens, Kings, and Aces. But a lot of hands will also fold. So he's thinking about it. Now, I don't want to go too much into his body language and physical tells and stuff like that. You can't go by that unless you know what a player behaves in other situations and try to see the difference. So I'm not gonna see he's looking here like he's bluffed and so on, because I already know what happened in the hand. He ended up going all in after checking, and the other guy called him. But again, I don't know if this is edited or live. I don't know how long he took.
He's got a good hand to semi-bluff with. It's so risky, and it would take pretty much all his chips. I would assume he would jam.
He's looking at him. There's a lot of interesting things going on here. Remember, this guy's now wearing glasses. That other guy is wearing glasses. And he does look scared. But it is not a bad play at all. The pot is 89,000. Some 1/3 of it is he invested in, and he would be down to like 100 and how much did he put in so far? 11 million and 15 million, 26 million plus the 4 million. 30 million. So he's down to about 140 million. And that guy would be up to, almost 380 something million. So he could let it go, but it's not a bad play to make. It's just like when there's so much money on the line. Now, on the other hand, too, he's already become a millionaire. I don't know how much second place was, like 4 or 5 million maybe. So although there's a lot of pressure, there's also like you are kind of like free rolling. Even if you are playing for like 2 million, this might be the most money he's ever made in his life, or maybe he's been broke all his life, and so there's a lot of stress that's gone in the situation too. And remember, they've been playing for days. I think the main event takes like 7 days, and you never know what's going on in a person's life too, like to make them make a decision like this. But I'm going too much into it now. Right now, don't mind me rambling.
Jamming with 27% equity.
If he saw the cards, he would not.
He's head all in.
Yeah.
That's interesting. He says all in. He looks at the dealer first, and then he looks at him, and he's like, it's almost like, am I gonna get shot?
Did jam,
and as soon as he got called, he didn't like it. He knows he needs a lot of help.
He's head all in.
Yeah.
He did jam.
See?
He's head all in.
Yeah.
He's head all in.
Yeah.
He did jam.
The other guy called him pretty quickly. Now, when a player calls a player quickly like this, it's because they already decided, okay, I got him. Okay, he's thinking about bluffing. Okay, I think he's going to bluff. If he pushes, I'm going to call him. Now, sometimes even when you come to a decision like that, you might take a few moments before you call it off. Maybe you don't want to give tells for the future and so on. But this guy has already made his mind. He's going to call him. It's not like if the other guy called, like let's say checked, and then this guy bet the 50 million or whatever he bet, and the other guy went all in right away, he might have thought about it for a couple of minutes. But when he had this time to watch him, whether he's right or wrong, he's already made up his mind. So at this point, he's figuring, I think he's going to pull the trigger. I have to call him here. And sure enough.
And he gets a snap call. Oh, wow. This could be it right
here. And Dario has about 12 outs. So he's going to win this about 1 every 4 times, So even in this situation, if they were to do this like 100 times, Dario is going to win it 25 times. Make a long story short, Dario did not win the hand. Let's see what the other last card was. Queen of Clubs, and this guy wins World Series of Poker, and who knows what it means to him. This is as much as I can put into this right now. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye-bye.